Chosen one. I need you to stop everything you are doing right now and give me your complete attention. What I am about to share isn't something you can casually listen to while multitasking. This requires your full presence, because what I discovered about you in the spiritual realms over the past 72 hours left me in absolute silence. Something happened. Something you probably don't even remember because it came so naturally from who you are. You made a decision recently, a choice that seemed insignificant in the moment, but that choice created ripples through dimensions your physical eyes cannot perceive, and those ripples reached the throne room of heaven itself. Your response to a particular situation didn't just impress the angels watching over you. It caused something extraordinary. It made the divine pause in recognition of something so rare from a human soul that a special council was convened specifically to discuss your case. Subscribe to Chosen by Heavens right now and turn on all notifications, because what I am about to reveal about the exact moment that caught heaven's attention is information you cannot afford to miss. The timing of you finding this message is not coincidence. Let me take you behind the veil and show you what happened in the celestial realms when you made that choice. In the spiritual dimensions, countless souls are being monitored at any given moment. Guardian angels document responses, record choices. Watch how humans navigate earthly existence. Most human behavior follows predictable patterns that have remained consistent for millennia. When someone experiences betrayal, they respond with bitterness. When they face injustice, anger becomes their default. When they encounter pain inflicted by others, revenge or cold distance becomes natural. These patterns are so reliable, they rarely attract special attention from higher celestial ranks. They are expected, normal human. But occasionally, very rarely, a soul demonstrates something so contrary to human nature that it creates a moment of celestial wonder. When angels pause their assignments to observe, when higher authorities take notice, when the fabric of spiritual warfare shifts because of one person's choice, you created one of those moments. It was during a recent situation where you faced something designed to break you. The weight seemed impossible to carry. The pain was real, inflicted by real people or circumstances that genuinely wronged you. You had every reason, every justification to respond with the darkness being directed at you. Everyone would have understood if you had given up, responded with hostility, or protected yourself by becoming hard and closed. The situation demanded it. Your pain justified it, but you did something different, something that shouldn't have been possible given what you were going through. I am not talking about simply enduring through gritted teeth. Many survive through stubbornness or lack of options. That doesn't catch heaven's attention. What you demonstrated was far more profound. You faced a moment where you had earned the right to be bitter, where anger would have been justified, where resentment was understandable. The offense was real, the wound genuine, the injustice measurable. And in that exact moment, when every fiber of your being wanted to respond with the same energy you received, something deeper within you made a different choice. You chose grace when you had earned the right to choose destruction. It might have been a conversation where you could have said something devastating, but you chose silence or measured words carrying no poison. An opportunity to expose someone's failures, but you protected them anyway. A moment when you could have walked away and no one would have blamed you, but you stayed and kept trying. Or perhaps an internal choice no one else could see. When you were alone with your thoughts, when bitterness knocked at your heart's door with convincing arguments, and you consciously chose to release the offense instead of nurturing it that moment, that exact moment when you chose differently than your pain demanded. That is when heaven noticed, because what you demonstrated reveals something about your soul that sets you apart. You proved your responses are not controlled by circumstances, that your character is not determined by how others treat you, that who you are remains consistent regardless of what you face. This is extraordinarily rare. Most humans are reactive beings. Their behavior mirrors their environment. Treat them well. They respond well. Treat them poorly. They respond poorly. Their character fluctuates based on external conditions, but you demonstrated something different. You proved your character is internally anchored, that no external circumstance can force you to become someone you don't want to be, and this is what caught divine attention. Your guardian angel had been watching your situation unfold, documenting your struggles, prayers, tears, doubts, and strength. When you made that choice, when you responded with grace instead of justified anger, your guardian angel flagged your case for immediate higher review. Guardian angels handle most situations independently. They only escalate when they observe something exceptional, something indicating a soul operating beyond normal human capacity. Your case was escalated directly to Archangel Michael himself, the commander of heaven's armies, the warrior who defeated Lucifer, the protector of chosen ones throughout history. When the notification reached Michael, he was engaged with cosmic matters, battles in unseen dimensions, strategic operations affecting nations, assignments involving world-changing destinies. But when he saw your file flagged, when he read the note attached, he paused everything, because it said this soul demonstrated enemy love protocol while under active spiritual attack. Enemy love protocol. In spiritual warfare dynamics, there is a classification system for human responses to adversity. Most responses fall into predictable categories requiring no special attention: revenge, bitterness, withdrawal, depression, self-protection through hardness. But there is a rare category called transcendent response, when a human responds to evil with good, answers hatred with love, chooses blessing over curse while being wounded, demonstrates divine character while experiencing attacks of darkness. This response type is so rare it gets automatically flagged for Archangel review. It indicates a soul operating at a frequency transcending normal human capacity. You triggered that flag. You activated that protocol. Michael reviewed your entire recent history, every situation, every response, every choice made when you thought no one watched, every internal battle no one else could see, every moment you chose to keep your heart soft when life gave you every reason to become hard. What he discovered made him request something extraordinary. He requested a direct audience with the divine council to discuss your case personally. Archangel Michael commands armies. He oversees protection of millions. For him to request a personal audience to discuss one individual is almost unprecedented. It happens perhaps a handful of times per generation across all humanity. Your case warranted it. The audience was granted. Michael presented your case as someone demonstrating spiritual maturity, deserving recognition, and strategic positioning. He showed the council the moment of your choice, the internal battle you fought, the grace you chose when you could have chosen destruction. The response was unanimous. Your case was designated priority status, not because you are in danger, but because you have proven capable of handling what is coming. You can be trusted with greater assignments, increased authority, expanded influence. If this message resonates deeply, if it confirms things you have felt but couldn't articulate, consider supporting this channel through YouTube's Super Thanks feature. Your support helps us bring these revelations to chosen ones worldwide who need to hear them. More than that, it is your declaration to the universe that you recognize spiritual truth's value and will invest in your awakening. Let me tell you what was decided in that council meeting. First, your assignment level has been elevated. You are no longer being prepared for what you thought. Those were training grounds. What is coming is the actual mission, situations requiring exactly the grace under pressure you have demonstrated. You are not being tested to see if you can. You have proven you can. Now you are positioned to do it at scale. Second, your access to heavenly resources has been upgraded. Your prayers are moved to priority processing. The guidance you seek is delivered through accelerated channels. Protection you need is assigned from higher ranks. This isn't favoritism. It is heaven's investment in proven vessels. Third, Your visibility in spiritual realms has increased dramatically. Both light and darkness are now aware of who you are at a higher level. Enemy forces receive notification you are operating in enemy love protocol, meaning they have been issued specific instructions on engaging with you differently. They cannot use the same tactics because you have proven those don't work on you. Forces of light have been given new assignments regarding your protection and empowerment. Angels previously assigned elsewhere have been reassigned to support your mission. Not because you are more important, but because you have demonstrated you will use support effectively. Heaven operates on stewardship and demonstration principles. Those faithful with little receive more. Those demonstrating wisdom under pressure are entrusted with greater challenges. Those maintaining integrity when unwatched are given influence where everyone watches. You proved yourself, not through perfection, but through your response to imperfection. You showed your default setting, even under pressure, is grace rather than judgment, love rather than bitterness, forgiveness rather than revenge. This is the frequency at which divine power operates, the channel through which heaven can release extraordinary blessing without corrupting the recipient. You have proven increased favor will not change who you are at your core. When the council meeting concluded, when your new designation was registered, when protocols for your elevated assignment were activated, a personal message was added to your file. This isn't something every soul receives. It is reserved for cases that genuinely impacted celestial observers. Cases demonstrating something worth remembering. Cases that will be referenced as examples when other chosen ones need encouragement. Let me share it word for word. To the chosen one receiving this message, your response to injustice has been recorded as evidence that human souls can operate at frequencies we designed them for, but rarely see achieved while in physical form. You reminded celestial realms that limitations we observe in humanity are not inherent to design, but result from choices made under pressure. You chose differently. In choosing differently, you activated dormant potential many carry but few release. Your file has been marked for accelerated development. Not because you need correction, but because your progress proves what is possible when a soul aligns with their true nature despite adverse conditions. You are positioned for assignments matching your demonstrated capacity. These will not feel like punishment or burden. They will feel like homecoming. Like you are finally doing what you were created for. Like life pieces that never made sense are suddenly forming a coherent picture. The attitude that caught our attention will continue being refined, not through additional suffering, but through expanded opportunity. You will be placed where your presence alone brings peace because you have become a carrier of the frequency you demonstrated. You have made heaven proud. This is documented fact. You have proven divine nature can be expressed through human limitation, that grace can triumph over pain, that love can conquer bitterness. Walk forward knowing everything coming toward you has been filtered through recognition of who you have proven yourself to be. This message was meant to reach you today at this exact moment when you needed confirmation your choices mattered, when you needed evidence someone was watching, when you needed to know everything you have endured has been building towards something specific. Now you know. Your attitude caught divine attention. Your response surprised even archangels who have watched humanity for millennia. Your choice has been permanently recorded in celestial archives, and everything in your future has been recalibrated based on what you demonstrated. In coming days and weeks, you will notice shifts confirming this truth. You will experience unusual favor disproportionate to what you did to earn it. You will encounter divine appointments with people carrying exactly what you need when you need it. You will receive insight solving problems you have wrestled with for months or years. Solutions will appear from nowhere. Locked doors will open. Immovable obstacles will shift. But this isn't happening so you can become comfortable. It is happening so you can become effective. You are not being blessed for your sake alone. You are being resourced for those your life will touch. The grace you demonstrated isn't just for you. It is meant to flow through you to others. You are going to encounter people facing exactly what you faced. standing at the exact crossroads where you stood, in the moment of decision between bitterness and grace. You are positioned to show them it is possible, to demonstrate through example that choosing grace under fire is achievable, to prove maintaining integrity when everything pushes toward compromise is genuinely doable. Not through preaching, not through religious lectures, but through natural overflow of who you have become. Your presence will carry a frequency-activating potential in others. Your story will spark recognition in those ready to hear it. This is why heaven invested such attention in your case. Not because you need more blessings, but because your elevation enables elevation of countless others connected to your sphere of influence. You are becoming a carrier of the very quality that impressed the divine. That quality will transmit to everyone who comes close enough to receive it. Let me tell you about the designation officially recorded in your file. Every soul reaching Archangel level review receives a classification summarizing their core spiritual identity. This classification follows them through their earthly journey and into eternity. Your classification is demonstrated carrier of divine grace. Demonstrated means proven through action under real conditions, not just potential. Many have potential to carry divine grace. Few demonstrate it when it costs them something. You did. Carrier means someone who doesn't just receive grace for themselves, but transmits it through their presence. You are not a container holding grace. You are a conduit flowing grace. Everywhere you go, everyone you encounter receives some measure of what you carry. Of divine grace specifies the exact frequency you operate in. Grace isn't weakness. It is the ability to respond to undeserved pain with undeserved kindness, to meet hatred with love, to answer darkness with light, to choose blessing over curse even when curse is justified. This is the highest frequency of spiritual power available to human souls. The frequency at which miracles operate, at which impossible situations shift, at which stone hearts become flesh, at which trajectories of lives and generations can be altered. You demonstrated this not in a spiritual high, not in church or worship, but in the trenches of real life under real pressure with real wounds. That is what makes it authentic. That is what makes it powerful. That is what makes you qualified to carry what is coming. This designation is how you are known in celestial records, how angels refer to your case, the lens through which heaven views everything connected to your life. And it changes how you are handled. Demonstrated carriers of divine grace receive priority resource assignment, not because they are better, but because they have proven they will not corrupt when power increases. They have shown they will use blessing to bless others rather than just consume it. If this revelation has stirred something deep within you, if you recognize yourself in this message, please consider supporting this work through the Super Thanks feature. Your investment helps us reach more chosen ones navigating their awakening and needing confirmation they are on the right path. Everything I have shared about celestial realms, about the attention your choice received, about your classification, none of this is meant to make you prideful or superior. If this triggers ego or feeling better than others, you have completely misunderstood. The whole point is you demonstrated the opposite of ego. You chose humility when you could have chosen pride, service when you could have demanded recognition, grace when you earned the right to choose judgment. That is what impressed heaven. Not your strength, but your surrender. Not your power, but your gentleness. Not your knowledge, but your willingness to keep learning. Not your certainty, but your faith despite uncertainty. Chosen ones receiving the greatest assignments are not those who think they deserve them. They are those who question whether they are qualified but say yes anyway. Those who feel inadequate but show up consistently. Those who know their brokenness but offer their broken pieces to be used for healing others. If that is you, this message is absolutely for you. If you have spent more time doubting yourself than celebrating yourself, you are probably exactly who heaven is looking for. Because heaven doesn't need confident people who believe in themselves. Heaven needs surrendered people who believe in God despite not believing in themselves. Your recent choice revealed you are that kind of soul. You didn't respond with grace because you felt strong. You responded with grace despite feeling weak. You didn't choose forgiveness because it was easy. You chose it because something deeper than your pain knew it was right. That is the kind of person heaven can trust with power. You have proven pain will not corrupt you. Offense will not make you bitter. Betrayal will not make you closed. Difficulty will not make you quit. You are being positioned for the very thing you have been preparing for, even unknowingly. Every hard season was training. Every painful choice was strengthening. Every moment you wanted to give up but didn't was building capacity for what is ahead. The road hasn't been easy, you know that. Heaven knows that, but the road was never meant to be easy. It was meant to be transformative, and transformation requires pressure, requires heat, requires situations pushing you beyond what you thought you could handle. You have been pushed, pressed, tested, and you didn't break. You bent. Yes. Questioned. Absolutely. Struggled, without doubt. But you didn't break, and you didn't become something you are not. That is what heaven watched for. Not perfection, but persistence. Not flawless performance, but faithful presence. Not having all answers, but being willing to keep asking questions. You passed a test you didn't know you were taking. The reward isn't rest. It is greater responsibility. But it is the kind that will feel like purpose. The kind that makes sense of everything you have been through. The kind that transforms your pain into someone else's healing. This is your moment, not to arrive, but to step into the next level of becoming. Not to achieve, but to receive what is being released toward you. Not to prove yourself, but to position yourself for what has already been decided about your future. The choice you made, the grace you demonstrated, wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The beginning of heaven's full attention on your advancement. The beginning of accelerated preparation for expanded assignment. The beginning of you walking in authority that matches who you have proven yourself to be. Subscribe to Chosen by Heavens if you haven't already. And turn on notifications so you never miss these revelations designed for chosen ones like yourself. These messages aren't random. They are strategically released for those ready to receive them. You were meant to find this today. This exact message, this exact moment, because somewhere in your recent journey, you made a choice that changed everything. And heaven wanted you to know that choice was seen, recorded, and rewarded. Walk forward knowing your attitude impressed. God surprised the archangels and permanently altered your destiny. Everything coming toward you has been filtered through recognition of who you have proven yourself to be. You are a demonstrated carrier of divine grace. That is not a title you earned through perfection. It is a reality you revealed through your response to imperfection. Own it, walk in it, and watch as heaven confirms it through everything that unfolds from this moment forward. The best is not just coming. The best is already here, unfolding with every step you take in the grace you have chosen to embody together. We rise.